In today's video, we're gonna check out Miami Beach's brand new park, Bayshore Park. This is honestly probably my favorite park in the entire city. It's been in the works for over 10 years and under construction for the past 2 years. Just had its grand opening, which is really cool. The mayor was there, commissioners. I got to check it out for that first day that they officially opened. Now we are back to do a full exploration on video so you guys can see what this park has to offer. All right, so just to give you guys an orientation where we're at, that is Pine Tree Drive here. We're like north of 23rd Street, so not quite in South Beach. This is known as Mid Beach. We've got a surface lot right over here. Free parking, by the way. It does have signs that say 3-hour parking, but it is open from sunrise to sunset, which is the hours of the park, but it is free parking, and it is this many spaces right over here, just in case you're curious. Anyway, stepping away from the parking lot, we have this really long, I would call it like a pebble pond. It's seriously just has pebbles in there with very shallow water, and it stretches all the way to our first overlook point, which we're going to get there in a moment. So we're walking all along this really clean pathway here. We do have park rangers as well, so you should feel safe here. Here is our first of many overlooks, giving you a different perspective of the lake. Check this out. So we've got the banyan tree in the middle. There is a bridge to walk on both sides to get us there. We've got animals in the water playing. This honestly does not feel like Miami Beach. I read somewhere online, I think it was in an interview for local news, someone said it's like Central Park, in the sense that Miami Beach is a bustling city with a lot of tourists. You got the hotels on Collins Avenue, Ocean Drive, all that stuff. But here, it feels very different. I mean, look at this. We've got a really tall hill there. That's known as the Amphitheater. Let's get closer to show you guys that. By the way, I do worry some points in the park where you can potentially trip and fall into the water because there's no railing. A lot of the palm trees are brand new. This is a brand new park, so they're still growing. You're not gonna see all the shade that you would normally want to enjoy in a park, especially on a super sunny day like this, but they will grow. All right, we're walking towards the Amphitheater. This is actually, I saw the first use of this during the grand opening. As you guys can see, it's a little elevated with concrete seating at each level. And normally you just, maybe they'll have some kind of events here, just like today, it's the grand opening event. This is a very good area for events like that. Maybe have a movie night where they have like an inflatable screen there, projector, and then have people sitting all along this. You can climb each step. There's grass in the middle, concrete for you to sit on. Imagine it's pretty hot right now. Not too bad. All right, we're taking the awkward way to get up the hill. They do have a path, so you don't have to struggle like this. It literally just winds down the hill, so you're not struggling to get up. But I want to show you guys the tallest point in the entire park. All right, you ready? Here it is. This is absolutely surreal. Imagine rolling down and just like not being able to stop and you just end up in the lake. But there's the center point of that lake. You see many trails winding around the lake. From here we can see other overlooks. There's one. We'll get to it. There's another one over there. And even at the middle there are steps where we can sit down and also enjoy the lake. It's quite a nice breeze today. Taking it all in now. Bayshore Park, Miami Beach. Let's keep going. This is really cool. Here's what that path looks like to get up onto the hill. I decided to take it on the way down. Again, trees will grow. This will have a lot of shade at some point. All right, we're coming up on what is probably my favorite part of this entire park. This is a massive banyan tree, and it actually existed before, but they really utilized the space underneath it because it was just a field that you can walk under and kind of get lost in between the roots. But now they've carefully cut out the path that goes around the perimeter of the park and also added a roped off section that you can carefully walk underneath a tree, not worry about tripping on roots or anything like that. The best part about being under here on a hot day is that it actually feels about 20 degrees cooler underneath the tree. So that's a massive plus, especially in the South Florida heat. Just check this out. This doesn't even feel real. You can already see a lot of videos going viral locally here about this. Absolutely massive tree. One of the largest banyan trees in the southeastern United States is here at Bayshore Park. There's another one at the center of the lake, which we'll get to in a bit. Show you guys a close-up of that. But check this out. Another cool thing is that it started raining a bit during the grand opening. So I tested it out. I came underneath this tree and I did not get wet. I'm not sure how it handles heavy rain, but for light rain, you can definitely come under here and take shelter. It's not raining too hard, but I do not feel a single drop hitting me right now. So for light rain, this tree provides great cover. We started the video in the main entrance, but there are several throughout the park along the perimeter because it is surrounded by a neighborhood. So folks that live in this area can easily just walk in through the many entrances. There's one here, the main one we saw over there. There's another over there, and then another towards the southwest corner. They do have a playground, by the way, which is pretty tall. And for the older kids, they do have some kind of zip line contraption built into the playground area that you can sit down on and glide down several dozen feet, which I think is pretty cool. For those that may have had questions, they do have a lot of trash and recycling bins throughout the park. Here is our next overlook. There's about 3 or 4 across the park. You can see the hill that we were just on towards the left. And you can see, I am really impressed with the landscaping throughout the park. If you come here, you'll notice that it's all very well done. I love how there's many hills. Obviously there's the big one we just climbed, the Sunset Terrace. There's like several hills just scattered throughout the park that you can climb on and maybe have a picnic. As we walk towards the middle of the lake, I just want to point out another overlook. This to me seems a little bit, I don't know, I can see people tripping right over this. But this is yet again another overlook. This is also an issue I had when I came for the grand opening. The sprinklers were on and they like aim at the sidewalk during its rotation. So I had to kind of dodge those. Okay, we're on the main bridge now, heading towards the center of the lake. We've got lake water to our left, lake water to our right, and looks like there's a path that also goes behind the tree. But there's also a sort of boardwalk kind of feel as you walk around this edge of the tree. I thought there would be a lot more people here. I mean, there's people in the park now, but this is to me the focal point of the lake. I mean, you just walk here. The sun is setting behind us a few hours away from now, but the sun is already in that direction, so the tree is providing the shade as we stand here. And just look at this, like limestone seating that are steps leading into the lake. Something that I do want to point out about the park that's in the renders when you go to the Bayshore Park website on the Miami Beach City page, it shows a fountain in the middle of the lake. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't see anything that indicates that they're working on it. As of now, I mean, we're a few days into the opening. There's not really a fountain here in real life. So while we're at the edge of this lake, let's talk about its purpose, because it has more than just the aesthetic reasoning behind it. I mean, it is nice to look at and very relaxing. This was actually built to connect, I don't know if it's already connected, but at some point they will connect it into the stormwater drainage system that is in the surrounding neighborhoods. So these areas are very much flood prone, and sometimes we do get prolonged heavy rain in the afternoons, especially in the summer months. So the idea is they're going to connect this lake into the stormwater drainage system for the neighborhood around here, which is the Bayshore neighborhood, and that water will feed into the lake. It'll get filtered and it'll feed into the lake. And that is why when we look at some of the plans for this park, they do have a perimeter where it shows the lake, it shows it with it elevated and flooding, and then it shows what is known as the levee around the lake, which is the dirt path that we saw throughout the video. This is such a nice path to walk by. It's like the plants are very much elevated on the left, on the right. Oh man, they did such a great job with this park. Guys, this park is so new that parts of it aren't even completed. There's another Bayshore Park signage. Eventually, I imagine, because right now there's no sidewalks along this side of the street, imagine there will be some sidewalks built into here connecting with the park. So that is still a work in progress. We are now to what is known as the Butterfly Garden. It contains this sloped path. We're actually gonna walk over it for fun. So the school band is currently rehearsing over there after school hours. But this is the Butterfly Garden. Let's go find some butterflies. Again, a really nice landscaped area that is meant to have, oh, there's a butterfly. Dragonflies and butterflies is what you'll find here. Here we have one perfectly set up for us on top of this plant. Whoa, there's 2 butterflies on top of each other. What is going on here? Ah, you guys can't see that. What the heck? Okay, we're now in the fitness area of the park, and I will say there are a lot of impressive equipment. Now, I'm not a gym guy. These are things I don't see in normal parks. So you got this equipment, you got this equipment, you got gym equipment over here, got this, got these, probably for squats. Is that what it's for? You got this sort of rope ladder to climb, pull-up bar. Got these are all accompanied by photos, and this company that provided all of the equipment is advising people to download the app. I don't know, maybe it integrates with the app, but it shows you different techniques you can use with these things. We got a nice workout here. Let's see if we can do, so 99 pounds. Oh, hell no. Am I supposed to go over it? No, right? Because that's kind of scary if I have to go over it. Another plus about this is they've got at least 2 water fountains that I know of. I could have missed a couple, but there's one by the tennis courts, like on the other side of this fence. Whenever I'm trying out water fountains in parks, I always expect them to be very, very hot. So let's try the water temperature for this one. I'm not sure if you can see that. It is cold. Not ice cold, but somewhere between room temperature and ice cold. So good on them, and sorry for not bringing a reusable bottle. This is all I had in my car. I'll do better next time. All right, so let me just show you really quick the tennis courts here. There's 3 on this side. That is a brand new facility. We're gonna go check it out right now. There's bathroom there. There's a tennis center in there. And on the other side of that, there's exactly 3 more tennis courts. All right, so since nobody's in here, I wanna show you really quick. This is the bathroom facility inside the tennis courts. The sink is shared between both sides. This is essentially what it looks like inside. So you've got 2 urinals and 1 stall. Nothing crazy, but it is very, very clean. And then here's that other water fountain I told you guys about. So same setup by the gym. It is very close by. You can see it already from over here. Hopefully there's more throughout the park. Peeking around here, we have the other 3 tennis courts. Check out the design of that bench. Really unique. And so that would be the viewing area for that, which is covered from the elements. And then over here, imagine you can sit on the stairs there and view people play tennis. Again, covered from the elements. Actually, now that I think about it, they are not completely covered. It's slanted a little bit, so the rain would actually fall slanted. So you'd still get wet here. Here is the dog park. It is to the left of the entrance. So when we came in, we made a right, headed towards that big hill. This is to the left of it. They got it sectioned off, so you got the large dogs on one side and the small dogs on the other side. There is another water fountain here, so this is the 3rd one I've seen. They're all very close to each other, these 3. Found another water fountain, and this one actually, I think the other one too, has one for the dogs to drink water. All right, that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the park as much as I did, and come check it out. It's Bayshore Park. The address will be somewhere on the screen. I highly recommend coming out, especially if you don't live in Miami Beach. Obviously the locals will be here a lot, but if you're from outside of Miami Beach, it is well worth the drive to come check out the park. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.